So we'll just wait 2 more minutes for other students to join in, and then we'll start. Till that time, if any of you have any queries regarding today's discussion, you can just mention in the chat box, and we'll try to address as many as possible. And also the code, what I have mentioned on the screen, is something what all of you should keep in mind during your preparation journey, that don't think about what is going to happen in the exam, or what is going to be the result, or what is going to be your rank, or how we are going to be able to do it. Keep in mind that whatever you do will decide your future. So you need to work hard for it. That's the only road. So let's start. So it will be a general session where I'll be sharing some of the things what I felt everybody should know, including the students who are starting afresh for the NEET SS journey, and some who have gone through the lows during the last exam and now they want to give a try again. So understand that the freshers or the ones who have already appeared and not got the desired rank or seat, and they're appearing again, all of you are in the same boat. It doesn't matter even if you have read 1 year or 6 months or 3 months or 2 years, or you have not read. Now is the point from which you all need to start, and you need to start afresh. So I'll answer the answer to one of the question what some of you have asked regarding if you have prepared for last year, when you should start, or should you start afresh, or should you be concentrating on for example, the materials what have been using. So one thing what I'll try to answer for this question is, one thing is start fresh. That is what I'll advise. First of all, that forget about everything what you have gone through or what you have read before. Start afresh. Don't think about what you have read, what you have mugged up, or what you have solved in the past. Start afresh. Make a fresh schedule. That is the first and foremost important thing for each and every student who is joined in this session. That planning is very important. Planning for how you're going to read, what you're going to read. So as we all have know that there are how, what, and why. I'll start by making you answer. The first thing is why you need to study or why you need to go through this journey. So you need to first be sure that, yes, I want to do a super specialty degree. Next, you need to work hard towards it. And yesterday only one of the student who was wanting to prepare again had contacted me, and I told them one thing, that think about not getting into top 50, 100, 200, 300, or according to the rank or the college what you want. Target this rank, and it can be a very subjective rank one. So you need to concentrate for the highest, and that is what I always believe in, that you should target the highest. So aim the highest and achieve even higher than that. So you need to aim for the highest rank, and you need to work hard towards it. Don't think about the 50, 100, or just thinking about, okay, for this college I need this rank, this marks. Don't think about that. Target the maximum. That is one thing what I'll advise you all. Coming to the nitty-gritties of the preparation, so keep in mind, first of all, regarding the pattern. So what I feel is that, don't think that the last year there was one pattern. Last year there was some change in the pattern, and next year also it will be like last year or before that. What I feel is that next year also I expect some surprises. I feel down the line, after 1 or 2 exams, that is after next year or next year exam, I feel there will be a steadiness in the pattern. So what I expect in the next pattern is this, that you need to read 3 books. That is, one is the Bailey and Lau. Second is Sabiston. And third is Schwartz. So these three books, I feel you need to read this year. It is not any kind of, you cannot do compromise in reading any of the three books. That is what I feel, because you need to be thorough and well read from all three books, and you need to be clear about your concepts. You need to be confident in your clinical acumen. Because it is not that if you have worked properly or you have seen cases in your residency, it will be always easier to answer. See, understand that whenever there is a clinical scenario, it involves two things. It involves your theory and concepts plus your clinical acumen. So always be prepared in a very thorough manner, that read and be clear about your theory, your concepts. That is how you can apply your clinical acumen in a very strategized and accurate manner. So coming to next, now coming to some of the questions, what you have asked is that, is videos necessary or notes can be sufficient? How you can make some notes, what I saw in the question or the comments or the queries what you have sent to me right now. So what I'll advise you, one thing is that it is a very subjective thing regarding video lectures. Notes and books. Now, see, there is no one pattern which can fit all of you. So you need to understand what works best for you. Now, I'll advise you one more thing, that see, the memory, it works in a very unique way for each of you. So it can be either audio memory for some, it can be an audio visual memory for some, or it can be just reading what you're doing. So that is also a pictorial sort of memory, which is how certain people remember certain things. And some people have the tendency that they can mug up well. So you need to understand your way of reading and your way of recollecting things, and then you need to decide. If you feel that by listening to a lecture it is easy for you to remember, you should go with that. But don't forget that you need to read books. That should be your priority one. Second thing, if you're wanting to read notes, like for some of you who have ordered our notes, what I advise, because many of you have started getting the notes, you've been asking us that, are the notes enough? Do you need to read the books? So what my aim behind the notes was that, first, always read the books, Bailey, Sabiston, read thoroughly with the notes, mark, add something if you feel it is not, it will almost cover everything. We have tried to cover everything in detail. But see, if you feel that you need to add on that after going through the book once, and then start your revision from the notes from second, third time onwards. But the first priority should always be to cover the books. Now, this should be priority 2. Okay. So now coming to video lectures, now as I said, some of you must be able to remember with the help of audio memory. Some of you need to see the lectures with hearing something. That is why sometimes you need to speak, like you try to speak on your own, and then that is how you can remember better. So that is how the audiovisual memory works. That is a book and the audio of you yourself reciting that. So if that doesn't work for you, you can always go to the video lectures, and that is how you can also remember things. So there is no one pattern. So you need to understand that if the lectures work for you, you should listen that, make notes or use notes and go through it. If you don't find, or you find the video lectures time consuming, I just advise all to mute them.
एवढा आपल्यावर तर भरोसा टाकणार नाही.
I'll just advise you to mute yourself. Yeah. So coming to the video lectures, so what I was saying was that if you feel that it is like you're able to remember better, you're able to understand the concept better, you should listen to the lectures and then read the book and the notes and then so on. If you feel that it is time consuming, or you can read better and understand better, you can always do that. But if video lectures are good, then obviously you should do that. So that is why because all of you have sent me one specific query regarding the shorts thing, that how can we read or how do we do it, because you're already reading Bailey-Saviston and now a third book. Now that is the reason why I decided for the shorts classes, because what I felt was that you can read Bailey-Saviston, and shorts is not entirely different from Bailey-Saviston, but what I will be doing is that explaining the topics from short itself, which will help you cover both Bailey and Saviston and the added points which are different or unique in short. So that is why what is the aim for our shorts classes. Now, coming to how and what should be your target, keeping in mind the NEET SS 2024. So NEET SS 2024, now frankly speaking, no one can predict when the NB is going to conduct it. It can be any time from July to November, keeping in mind the delayed entry of the batch which is going to appear in NEET SS. So what I feel is that your target, if you're starting now, that is December, your target should be that you should be done and ready by June. Okay, so that is 7 months. You should target June, like probably June end for your course reading. Everything should be complete by June. And then after that, whenever the exam is conducted, the remaining time becomes a bonus for revision. And with the mock exams. So that is how ideally you should plan right now. So target June, read, solve MCQs. Now coming to solving MCQs, I have told the previous batch also, and now also I'll tell one. And the only thing that don't, if you are fresher that is doing your residency third year and reading, then target that whenever you are not able to read theory, solve MCQs. So your target should be 150 questions per day. It doesn't matter at the stretch of 2.5 hours or divided in the day, but try to make sure that right now when you're starting, do the MCQs, read the theory, solve the MCQs, read the theory. That is, both should go hand in hand, and not just theory right now and MCQs later on, or just MCQs now and theory later on. You need to read MCQs with theory, and it does not include just reading the explanations. It means reading the MCQs and theory. So you can read the theory, solve the MCQs. If you have read earlier, that is some of you who are preparing again, solve the MCQs, go to the theory, read them. So that is what I would advise you all. Next, how you should do it. So I advise the last batch also, and this also I'll do to the you guys also, that you can follow our modules. That is, we have divided into 1 to 10 modules. So it basically includes, for example, the first modules includes the basics of surgical principles plus neurosurgery. So we have combined modules like this in our content, as well as we have uploaded that module wise division on our website. So you can access that and you can plan your schedule accordingly. So why we have made such schedule, that do some general surgery or some core general surgery topic and add on the super specialty topic. So you can do both of them together. So that is what I would advise you to plan your schedule in such a way that do module wise if you find it proper. If not, then you can make a schedule and modify accordingly. But try to make a schedule, like for example, if you're reading basics and along with that, for example, you're following our modules, read basic surgical principles with neurosurgery, solve those MCQs, read again, revise that. That is how you should do it. So for the schedule, I cannot give you a schedule that you should read in a this way. I can just give a tentative schedule that this is how you should target. But what happens is that if I give a fixed schedule, some of you may be able to follow it, some of you may not be able to follow it. So it unnecessarily creates that stress in your mind. So I'll advise you that follow the modules, but plan your schedule in your own way. So it helps you to be in that stress-free environment to prepare according to your speed and according to your techniques. So next, I'll answer regarding the time management. So what I personally felt was that I'll tell you both the things, that I was sitting at home and studying. Next, I joined fellowship in Gangaram and I read with the fellowship, that is equivalent to residency. So you have both the options. That is, some of you who would be just sitting at home and studying, you can give that time. And what I'll specifically target for those people who have to work, do their duties, and then you have to prepare. Keep in mind that your first goal is to think about what is your target. Second is to achieve that target, you need to put hard work. So you have to accept it that, okay, I have to work from 9 to 6 or 9 to 4 or 9 to 8, 12-hour duty. And remaining, I get around 2 to 3 hours in a day. Some days are 4 hours, some days 6 hours, some day even 1 hour. In between also, when you are just sitting in the OPD or waiting for a patient or waiting for the patient to get shifted, nowadays we have our app. You can just solve the MCQs in practice mode, go through, read, do some 10, 15 MCQs. So other than that, whenever you are at home after your duty, after you freshen up, you have the remaining time, concentrate on quality in those few hours, even if it means 1 to 2 hours. It doesn't have to be 10 to 12 hours every day. If you can read with the quality and remember those things which you've read in this 1 to 2 hours for a longer duration, it is nothing can get better than that. So I'll advise you that first think about the priority, divide the priorities, that yes, okay, my work is done, now I have free time, I can sit and study, now I'll study this topic or I'll solve this many MCQs. You need to understand your own way of reading, your way of preparation, and then plan accordingly and follow that schedule. But never give yourself a very long-term target that, okay, in 1 month I'll complete this. Give yourself short targets, which I also used to tell the last batches, that give yourself a very short target. For example, in 1 month, give your target of 5 days or a 1 week. Complete that by the end of 1 week, plan for the second week. And that is how you can do a efficient way of reading. Tentatively plan for 1 month. Okay, I can complete this in 1 month. Now, 1 week, I'll complete this. Next, I'll complete this. That is how you can efficiently plan your schedule and also stay stress-free. Next, very important thing coming, I'll come to some of the specificities of preparation from baby Savage and Shorts after this. So one more thing which I have also written in my vlogs many times, that concentrate on your mental mindfulness, remain calm, do meditation in between very frequently, because you need to understand that meditation and with the stress which we work or have about getting admission preparation is something which they balance themselves. So you need to understand that stress and meditation goes hand in hand. If you are in a lot of stress and you try to study, you may not be able to give that quality. So try to meditate, calm yourself, and then study. So that will help you. Now, about how to read. So understand that Bailey, Savaston, Schwartz. My personal target for my students this year is that you should be thorough with all the 3 books from first page to last page. Okay. Now, how you cover from first page to last page, that is important. Now, Bailey you need to be thorough except for ortho, ENT, opthel. Okay. Other than that, you need to cover from the first chapter to last chapter, bearing these chapters. You need to be thorough with each and every line, table, image, chart, every point from Bailey. So your first priority should be thoroughly with Bailey. Next, coming to Savaston. So in Savaston, you need to also go through from first page to last page, but Savaston needs to be read intelligently. So for Savaston, I've already made a video regarding how you should read it. So Savaston needs to be read intelligently. How? So you need to first go through a brisk reading of the book and then come to the important aspects marked during that first reading. So the first reading should be always a very brisk, superficial reading. Just go through the textbook, go through the chapter, mark that, okay, this is important, this is not. If some of you have taken our notes, we have designed that notes from Savaston in such a way that every important aspect is covered and the non-important aspect is left out. Next, second reading should be, you have marked, okay, this is important, this is not important. Second, read that in detail. with the notes, without the notes. If you are making your own notes, note down from that important aspects, mark that, okay, this is important, this is very important. And that is how you need to screen out. Sabiston cannot be read from like Bailey from first page to last page and every word. Bailey needs to be read, but Sabiston needs to be read very smartly. And third thing, after you have read briskly from first and second reading, third thing should be a very revision specific reading. So third point is, third time reading will be a revision specific, that only the important aspects you will read. So by reading the Bailey, you cover your basics. Sabiston, you add on to that basic knowledge, and then comes Schwartz. So Schwartz, what I felt was that personally, because I have read only selected topics during my MS, but during my preparation, I went through superficially, and what I noticed was that Schwartz is something like first step is Bailey, second step is Savvy, and if you want to add, then you add the Schwartz over it. So that is what my target is to the classes, that after you have read Bailey Saviston, if you listen to our classes, you will be revising from the Bailey Saviston, the concepts which are given in that, and knowing the new topics which are not there, or the new concepts which are not there. So that is what is a plan for Schwartz. Now, in general, I have covered all the aspects of how you can prepare ideally. Now, if you have any more queries, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. I think I've answered majority of the queries what you have sent me or also sent in the group. Any other queries what you've felt is, please let me know. Now, regarding INE CETSS, what I feel is that if you're preparing from now for the next INE CETSS, what I feel is that if you're going through and reading the specialty books, for example, in GI, you're reading Shackle for Lungard or reading Campbell for Euro. If you're going through it, then it is worth preparing in a very serious manner. Otherwise, if your target is NEET SS, concentrate on that. Give INISS to understand and know the general surgery knowledge what you have gone through. If you are targeting NEET SS, first decide if you want to target INISS, NEET SS, or both. INISS preparation is in a different way. NEET SS is in a different way. You cannot combine both. You can combine both only if you have enough time to read both Bailey, Sapiston, Schwartz with the specialty books. That is what my personal opinion is. Time to allocate for each subject. So see, I will give you a tentative or a rough schedule. If you ask me, like I'll give you a rough schedule for next 7 months. Now, it may not be possible for each of you to follow that, but don't consider the time. I'll just give a schedule of topics which you can tentatively cover in a period of 7 months. If you can cover it well enough, like good enough. If you cannot, don't worry, just follow that schedule according to your timeline. Okay. Now, tentative date, as I told earlier that we cannot predict the tentative date on next year NEET SS. I'll again tell that keep in mind June as the period that your one reading or preparation should be done, because it can be from July up to November. It can happen anytime. So you should be targeting to complete your reading by June. And after that, whatever time you get should be the extra bonus for revision. That is what I feel. Solving MCQs, I'll advise you one thing. 150 MCQs per day should be minimum. If you do more, it should be with theory. It should not be that you are not reading theory, you're just keeping on solving MCQs. That is not the right way of doing it. And if you come to mock test, then that should always be ideally be done like around 2 to 3 months, like what we did with the decathlon series. That is 2 months before the exams. So that is what I would advise you for our my way of preparation. So I feel 2 to 3 months is a good time to solve MCQs in a very serious manner for the NEET SS with a complete mock exam like feeling. Next, what you've asked is that chapters to avoid in Sabiston. So basically, if you see our notes, we have not covered certain chapters in the first basic surgical principles. After that, almost everything we have covered. So I feel only the few chapters, like the first chapter, second chapter, some points, third chapter, not completely is important. So except for the basic surgical principles, some of the chapters, the rest, everything I feel is important in Sabiston. CTBS is a very dicey thing because it is not necessary that they will ask so much in detail in from that. For CTBS, I feel like our notes should be enough because we have also covered from the Sabiston. So I think that should be enough for this. Other than that, everything needs to be read, keeping in mind the pattern changes in the NEET SS. I feel Bailey Sabiston is must plus shorts now. Now, if you are reading by yourself, how to make notes now, see, you need to understand that how does it work for you. For me, how it worked, I have made in the notes which I am providing should be concise to the point, just including the main important points, should cover everything so that when you're going through the notes, you should be able to revise the textbook. It should not be that you are just revising the important topic. You should revise the whole textbook in a faster way. So that is the idea of notes. So that is how you should make it. Biostatistics, I think, according to what I have seen in the NEET SS last, like this NEET SS 2023, they asked, but before that, they have not asked. But you should be reading whatever is given in Bailey Sabiston. Other than that, whatever I feel is important, I'll cover in the lecture. I'll put up a video for that. I already put a video for biostatistics. I think that covers everything. And even what was asked in the NEET SS, one or two questions were asked in that. Next question is how much time you need for each book. See, again, I'll tell you that timing, like what time you should give for a topic, for a book, I think it's a very subjective thing. Like some can finish Bailey in 2 months, some need 3 months, some way complete sincerely in 1 month. So you need to understand your speed and then divide that. The least should be for Bailey, then Sabiston, and shorts. I feel that um, once you go through our classes, then try to read it so that it becomes faster for you. I feel during that time, read Bailey Sabiston and then attend our classes. So that will help you to read shorts in a smarter way. But if you are not attending those classes, read Bailey Sabiston and after that go through shorts. Don't try to read pediatric from Bailey, Sabiston, and shorts at the same time. It can become time consuming, I feel. Because what I personally feel is that once you've read from Bailey and then you read from Sabiston and then you read from shorts, you are reading at an interval. And that interval of time will help you to memorize in a better way rather than reading at the same time. Because once you've read from Bailey, for example, IHPS, that is Pyloric Stenosis, you've read from Bailey, you have completed that, you are reading something else, then you're switching over to Sabiston, you read IHPS again, that will make you remember better rather than reading all at the same time. So read at an interval, but read differently. That is what I would advise you. So revisions close to the exam, I told the last batch also, and I'll tell you that also, that you need to have minimum of 2 and maximum of 3 revisions before the exam. That is must to get as much as correct and avoiding silly mistakes. The key is memory, and you cannot have good memory if you don't have revision, revision, revision. So my advice is revise, revise, revise minimum 3 times before the exam. After book reading, if you have added the needed points in the notes, then notes should be enough, because if you've read from the book and that same thing, for example, our notes you're reading, almost it will be like reading the book and revising from that. So that should be enough. But if you have made your own notes, then also if you made in a detailed way that it covers all the important aspects from the book, then it should be enough from the second to third time. I'll give you a rough schedule for 7 months, no issues. I'll plan a schedule and I'll post it on our website and also in the group. So you can plan your schedule accordingly or follow that schedule. Anything else what you may all have, please let me know in the comments so I'll answer them. I think I've answered. So for one of the question was that those who have read, given NEET SS, and now they are not getting a seat, now they want to start again, take a break for some time and then start from next month. That is what I will advise you. Any more queries? Sure, I'll try to plan a Zoom session for only GI surgery aspirants. I'll try to help you. For the INISS in general surgery, what I feel is important has been asked is trauma, biostats, endocrine, breast, and GIT. I think this is what the majority of the time ask in the general part of INISS plus the specialty questions. For any offer or any confusion regarding our plans, if you have, you can definitely contact me personally. I'll be happy to help you. So we have all the plans for MCQs, notes, video lectures, which cover the table charts, images, and the shorts classes. Any doubt or you want to join, you are welcome to join and you can ask me personally. Now, there is no order of studying systems. You should be comfortable if you are like right now facing like sort of Monday blues sort of situation where you are sitting to study, but you're not getting that speed, that rhythm. Read something which you like first so that you get into the rhythm and then switch over to other topics. Right now, when you're doing the first reading, always do theory, solve the MCQs. But after that, mix and match. That is one topic MCQs, one topic theory revision. So that when you're doing the theory revision of the topic which you have solved the MCQs a day before or a week before, it helps you to revise, because doing MCQs and reading the theory at the same time will help you. But for memory, better memory, I think you should try to do mix and match of theory and MCQs, but it should be after completing one reading. If you're planning to go for GI surgery now, remember that fellowship definitely helps you if you're doing from a good institute. Like how I did from Gangaram. It helped me a lot. I did a 2-year residency, sort of 1.5-year fellowship in Gangaram, and then I joined DNB surgical gastro. So it definitely helped me a lot. But you should be mentally prepared if you're also planning to appear for NEET tests that you need to give extra efforts to study. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, any fellowship, any course which helps you and adds on to your knowledge and surgical skills, it is definitely helpful. Yes, I think for all exams now, I feel that we should read Bailey Saviston and Shorts thoroughly. Any more queries? See, short skipping, you can if you want, but what I feel is that then if you feel that next year also they ask some like what they asked this year from shorts, you should not be in the state of complain that, oh, I should have read. If you have time, please read. If you don't have, then read Bailey and Saviston. What I feel is if you can, then please read all 3 books. I'll try to put a schedule for both NEET SS and upcoming INS CET SS. Sure. For concising, see the notes from Bailey Saviston plus the added notes, or if you're attending a classes from shorts, added points from that. That is how you can revise it. You cannot read all 3 books or revise opening the books at the time of exam. So that is why notes will help you. Mock exams for INISS will be starting a few months before the next INISS. I think 1 or 2 months we'll be taking mock exams 1 or 2 months before the exams, like NEET SS and INISS both. This year, like this NEET SS decathlon series will be starting few months before the NEET SS when the dates are announced. Any more queries? Yes, if you have read Bailey a few times, and especially, okay, this is something which I missed. That is Bailey, you should be doing with 28th edition, Sapiston 21st, and Short should be 11th edition. If you have read Bailey, read Sapiston and then read Schwartz. If you have not read, start with Bailey, go to Sapiston and then Schwartz. Yes. Any more queries? Okay, so I don't see any more queries now. If you still have, if you have read Bailey 27 multiple times, now is the time, read Bailey 20th edition. They have, I'll repeat again that if you have done Bailey 28th, read Sabiston 21st. If after that, read Shorts. If you have done Bailey 27th, read Bailey 28th. If you're starting afresh, read 28th first, then Sabiston, then come to Shorts 11th edition. Okay. If you have read Bailey 28 multiple times, now concentrate on Sabi and then during revision, revise from Bailey and then Schwartz. Okay. Any more doubts? Any more queries? Okay, so thank you all for joining. I hope I have given you some direction on how to prepare. So if you have any more doubts, queries, please reach out to me personally. No issues. Best of luck for your preparation. And we'll definitely I'll keep doing frequent sessions and we'll be in constant state of discussion for your preparation. And if you have any such queries regarding preparation, regarding Sushruta LGS plans, or anything you want to ask, please reach out to me personally. Thank you all for joining.